This is Excel Module 2, SAM Project A, Roadrunner Online. I've already taken the liberty of downloading my files, my start file, my instruction file. I'm having to do the side by side because my printer's on the blitz right now. So bear with me as I switch back and forth. When you open up your start file after you have renamed it, changing the 1 to a 2, you should see your name and the author on your documentation worksheet. So hopefully you've taken care of that. So our first steps will be to work on the project itself. This will probably be broken into 2 separate parts. We're going to go to the bin worksheet. So you have to double click when you're going between apps. And they want us to change the name of the worksheet to bin list. So just double click on the worksheet tab, click after the N in bin and add the word list and hit the enter key. Now the next thing to do is to bottom align the contents of the range of C3 through C13 so that they match column A and column B. So we're just going to highlight C3 through C13. We'll go up to alignment. It's currently at the top. We want to be bottom align. So we click the button. Now the next thing that we want to do is apply outside borders around A1 through C13. So I'm going to go up here to the borders button in the font group, and I'm supposed to use outside borders, so I'll click there. And then it also says that we want to change the border color to blue-gray exit 3. Now I'm going to launch the font dialog box, and I'm going to go to the border tab. I'm going to find my color, which should be blue-gray accent 3, is in the first row of theme colors. So I'm going to click on that, and it should be applied. I'm just going to double check this. I'm not sure if it's actually changing the color, but just in case, I've applied it. Click on OK. When you click away from it, you won't be able to see the top border or the left side border unless you switch to page layout view or you go to print preview. Now the next thing to do is to change the date in cell B15 to short date. So we're just going to click in that cell, and up here in the number group you can see the word date in the pull down list. For the number format, we're going to click on the pull down list and choose short date. And then they want us to change to page layout view. Down here on the bottom we'll go to page layout view, and we're going to scroll up so we can see where to add the header, and the header is warehouse bins, and that's really all they have us type there. So I'm just going to click somewhere outside of the header. The next thing they want us to do is to go to the inventory list worksheet. So I'll open that up, and the first thing they want to do is change the format of cell A1. So I'm going to click in A1, change the font from the pull down list arrow to Calibri Light in the regular list of fonts. I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to go back up and show you. If you had chosen the Calibri Light from the theme fonts, that would have been a heading font, and it did not tell us to do that. So we're not using those theme fonts. We had to go down in the list to find Calibri Light. Next we're going to change the font size to 20, and then we want to change the font color to this indigo blue, which is on the first row of theme colors. Is the fourth one from the left side. We're going to change the text to bold, and then we want to select A1 through H1 and do the merge and center. and this is our merge and center button. Then next it says to resize column B so that everything fits in that column. Inventory items is spilling over to the column C, so we're just going to point, double click between the B and C divider so that we now have it as a resized column. In the range of A5 through A16, we're going to look for duplicate values. So we're going to go to Conditional Formatting, highlight Cell Rules, and go down to Duplicate Values. Duplicate values with a light red field, dark red text. We'll just click on OK. And you'll see that you have a duplicate. They want you to point and to get rid of the second occurrence. So you're going to right click on the row number, number 15, and you want to delete it. You don't want to clear content because that just leaves, it clears the content but it leaves a blank row. Delete will get rid of the blank row when it clears it. Notice the conditional formatting turns off because there's no duplicates that meet that criteria. And then next we want to keep a running count of the items in the inventory. So we're going to click in cell B3 and we're going to introduce ourselves to the count A function. Now, all functions start in formulas start with the equal sign. I'm going to go ahead and type in count A. It's okay if it's lowercase because it'll switch it to uppercase. I'm going to type the open parentheses, and then we need to provide the arguments for it to work on. So we're going to select B5 through B15 and put in the closing parentheses and then hit enter. There are 11 different inventory items that we have listed in that range. Now, step 10 says that we want to display the entire text in cell F4 but format it so it requires less horizontal space. First and foremost, we're going to click on F4 and then we're going to try to drag and drop it so it says 9.00. If you have trouble getting it to do that, click on F, go to Cells, Format, Column Width, and you could type the number in, and you could type in the 9.00 there if you want. So we've got the right size, and now we want to wrap the contents, and I just click inside the middle. I still do an Alt-Enter to make that word wrap happen. But you could also go up here and you'll notice that your word wrap or text wrap is a button up here you could use. And we're going to halt here to end our part 1 so that we know it'll upload hopefully to YouTube.